Good morning, my name is Juan Pablo and I'm going to talk about the video games. Personally, I don't like too much video games. Um, well, as most of the things in this world, there are positive things about something and negative things, positive characteristics and negative characteristics, the same as in video games. But more than positive and negative characteristics, we have to check first why a video game can be addictive or why a video game can make someone more violent or dangerous for the society or things like that. And why is that? Is because of the personality. So what happened? Uh, what what happened with video games in this personality? Video games are focused on kids, are focused on, on kids and young people. This part of the population is who play most video games. And as a when a kid start playing a video game, he check in this video game a lot of maybe violence or bad things like maybe hypersexual characteristics of the women, and a lot of guns and fights and things like that. So that's why uh, some people say that the video games make someone violent. But yeah, this happened, as I said, the game because of the personality of this kid. So maybe the parents have to check this kid and say, okay, you are going to play the video game that you like, but as a parent, you are going to check if it's okay this video game or not. So you are building the personality of this young person or your children or your kids. Um, but it's a cultural too, because as most of the people likes to play the violent video game against the maybe educational video game, so the favorite video games are these video games who have a lot of uh, wars, or violence or shots and guns and things like that. So when these kids or when these young people go to the high school or to the join with the friends, they are going to speak and they are going to talk about these video games that are more like violent video games. So that's why I say that is cultural to the problem, and even worse when the families are destroyed. So behind the video games are a lot of things that we have to check before we can say that video games are good or bad. Um, even now or nowadays, the it's not just kids or young people who are playing video games. There are adults involved in these games too. Well, but I am going to say something negative, some negative characteristic first of the video games, and positive because there are positive characteristics too, characteristic of the video games too. In the negative, we have there's a lot of again I say there are some video games that have a lot of violence, um, inappropriate language, vulgar language, and hypersexual characteristic of the can be of women or men too. Well, video games produce anxiety of stress, overweight because you are sitting most of the time. There are some video games who you could do physical activity, but most of the video games are to to be sit in front of the screen and play. Um, well, most of these equipments are expensive. Uh, you can have risks in internet because you are connected, but again, this is in all the things. You could have a virus, or you, but especially why is risk? Because as some children are playing these video games, they don't know when announcement or something comes in the internet. Maybe that. Something for sure is that video games create addiction. When you start playing the video game, you want to keep playing and keep playing until you win that game. So it will be addictive. But again, I say, if you have personality, you are going to say, well, I'm going to play 2 or 3 hours, and then you stop. But it doesn't happen with young, especially with kids or young people, and as I say, with adults too nowadays. uh, there is too addictive that some people, when you say stop the video games, can be crazy because of that. Well, on the other hand, we have positive things too, and the positive thing can be concentration, because you have to be focused to win the video game. So when could be a group of teachers or some instructors who want someone to improve in maths or in another part of the science, and you could have a video game about that. I think it's not so popular, but could be. So that's part of the positive things. Visual skills, because you have to move a lot of time your eyes. Gain socialization. Again, this is not for sure, because if you are in front of the computer and you are playing just with the computer, you are not going to socialize. But in some video games, you have to be in contact with other people to play that video game. So in that case, will be socialize this video game. Um, there are some video games that are involve physical activity, so it could be interesting to do some exercise. And eye and hand coordination. Of course, you have to see the screen and move your hands to do this. So as I say at the beginning, video games can be bad or good, can have positive characteristics and negative characteristics. It depends of the personality. But when we talk about children and young people, it depends of the personality of the father, mother, or the parents who take care of this kid, and say when it's enough playing video game. So thank you.